Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Today we're going to have a best of 5 series between Flash and Zero, starting here on Electric Circuit for game number 1. Top right-hand corner, the Teal Zerg player, it is Zero. And in the top left-hand corner, the Green Terran player, Flash. Alright, now I know it doesn't say Flash up top, it says ODF, KODFDF. But definitely, this is Flash. This was part of a replay pack I got off of teamliquid.net. APMs are sufficiently high. The Terran player is very, very good. And so this is going to be Flash versus Zero in a best of 5. Somebody last week said, hey, could you cast another best of 5 series? And I said, I'll see what I can do. And after looking up through my replays, I found one. And this is it. But I'm not entirely sure I have another one. So if you have access to replays from tournaments and stuff, go ahead and please send them to me at falconpaladin@gmail.com because, I don't know, I'm not entirely sure I can do this again unless somebody does. I will go ahead and continue searching on TM Liquid and bwreplays.com and maybe the Russian replay site, screplays.ru, I think it is. I think that's what it's called. Anyway, it is really actually quite difficult. Has the overlord comes up there. It is quite difficult, what was I going to say there, to, find replays for Brood War, honestly, these days. A lot of places that used to host them are gone. A lot of them are dead. I know that our love for StarCraft continues, but for a lot of these people, it's just like, we're done. We're done with StarCraft. If there's other games to do, StarCraft 2 might be the new hotness, and that's the end of it. Anyway, Zero's going for a pretty nice hatch first here, and this drone is heading down, which leads me to believe that he might be saving up for a very, very quick third hatch before pool here against Jaedong, which I don't know that I can necessarily suggest, although, did I say Jaedong? Flash. Against Flash. Flash is going to throw down a command center first here of his own, so that's fine. So in that case, I mean, we didn't even really scout this yet. We are playing in the dark, if you're Zero. What is the thing? One of these is what we want. Okay, so no Flash. No Flash? Oh, the observers are on. There we go. So no Flash. Yes, Zerg. Zerg is here. He sees the very early expansion and says, all right. We got this. We got to hold on this. I can probably go for a quick 3. Whoa! Just kidding. I'm going to try to punish this with a drone pull. What are you doing? There is a spawning pool coming up back home. But he's like, you know what? You're not going to have a barracks yet. I'm going to kill all your stuff. I'm going to stop your expansion. I'm going to kill your barracks. And then what are you going to do? Oh, what is happening right now? Okay, well, that SCV is running for his life. SCV's coming here. We do have an SCV versus SCV street gang fight right now. Who's going to win this thing? It's anybody's business. SCVs do win in a straight up fight just because drones do have HP regen. And all really the SCVs have to do here is delay long enough for that barracks. Well, the barracks is finished. The barracks is finished, and there's a Marine on the way. So that is really, really bad news for Zero. What a gamble. Here in game number 1. Holy smokes, dude. What is the plan here? I don't know. I mean, the plan was to try to deny that and get things stopped. But, oh, there's a bunker coming up, too. Flash is responding perfectly to this. We do have some Zerglings on the way. This is as all in as you can possibly get right now. He's got Zerglings. He's got a ton of Lings. The Marine is here getting shots off, hopping inside his bunker, focusing down the wounded of these drones. Lings are here. Pretty scary Lings. And gonna go for it. Trying to pick off these SCVs, but getting shot at the whole time by the Marine inside the bunker. The SCVs are fighting too. Some of them are going down, but it's not necessarily enough here. This Marine getting positioned perfectly. Terran fans, that was amazing. 3 Lings came in, 1 Marine was there. Marine's like, I got this. Don't worry about it. Positioned himself perfectly between those barracks. He's chasing these guys around. Got some more Lings trying to do stuff, but I think that's it. I really don't see how you recover from this if you're Zero. I mean, your worker count is currently 4. Okay, 7. 7 worker count here. Natural base is up. Ton of workers at the main. These guys are just getting picked off as they run, and yeah, that's it. That's it for game number 1. A very quick affair. A very quick affair indeed here, where Zero saw the command center first, happened to scout it with the Overlord in the correct direction, and then took the risk. Took the risk, brought the drones over, tried to kill stuff, but that barracks got finished. The SCV fight did not go well. Flash responded perfectly, and Flash is up 1-0 in this best of 5 already. So great job by him, and we'll see if Zero can recover here in game number 2. It's got to be pretty demoralizing, right? You see this, you do a pretty risky thing, but have, I don't know, a pretty decent chance of success, and it just falls on its face. Now you got to do it again. See if you can make it happen again. Probably going to be more of a standard game in game 2 if I had to guess, but we'll see what that one is. Stick with us. We just got started. All right, I do want to point out real quick before we continue that every one of these games is on Electric Circuit. That's a Kespa official map, according to this. And let's get right on to game number 2. Top right-hand corner, red Zerg player this time. It's going to be Zero. And in the bottom right-hand corner, the purple Terran player, it is Flash. Alrighty then. So yeah, I'm not sure entirely what this was played as part of. Like, how come it's all on Electric Circuit? I don't know. Just got the replay pack off of Team Liquid and figured I would go ahead and cast it. Did I hit D? I feel like I hit D there accidentally doing some other stuff, and I think we're at the right speed now. This feels a lot better. This feels much better on the correct game speed. We'll see. We'll see how it is when the links come out. Easier to tell when they're running if this is right, but the time it takes for drones to work here feels about correct, so we're going to roll with that one. Quick plug for the Patreon. If you're interested in subscribing to me on patreon.com/FalconPaladin to support weekly StarCraft Brood War Remastered content in English, feel free to head over there for as little as $1 a month. You can show your financial support for the channel, and that would mean a lot to me, honestly. Just $1 a month from every one of you would allow me to do so many things. Really do some things. It would allow me to actually contact some of these players and try to get them in a bit of a tournament type situation that I'd be able to cast on my channel. It'd be stuff you haven't seen before. It'd be new StarCraft things. We could get some of your favorite guys, honestly, and make it happen. But I would need money for a prize pool for that, and honestly, Patreon's not a bad way to do it. I should do that, actually. I should make that one of my goals. Yeah, let's make that happen. Let's make that a goal. All right, thanks for the suggestion, everybody. Really appreciate the inspiration you guys continue to give me. Overlord is scouting the same direction we saw in game number 1, but this time Flash is not there. And this time I'm fairly sure that Zero would not attempt to shut it down with drones anyway. But there's the hatch first play at about 12 supply. The drone is coming down to the south, either for scouting purposes or possibly to throw down a third hatch pretty darn early, which you could afford to do. However, the Flash lives here now, so you can't. So this is now a scouting drone. I think it might have initially been an attempt to go for a quick third from Zero, or maybe just a scout. I'm okay with that. Ooh, get some free shots off there. Look at this micro. The SCV getting shots off on this poor drone. This poor drone. It's just Bobby the drone. He just wants to scout and not be dead. Oh my gosh, what is that? He down to 2 hit points? 1 hit point there for a second. He just wants to scout, and he is. He's going to be able to get in here, see the barracks' work, and see the lack of expansion from his Terran opponent and say, oh, this looks like some very concerted early aggression from our friend Flash. And there's the bunker. Bunker at the front. Drone says, oh, all right, well, what do we do about this? Overlord sees it too. I like the Overlord positioning. Drone's coming off the line, and here it is. Drone's pretty great, actually, at versus unupgraded Marines. Okay, this is all of the drones, though. Okay, well, maybe this will work this time. Yeah, if you lost all that mining time, Flash is going to abandon that. He'll take the win in that situation. Ooh, can he get the bunker? Maybe. Looks like he can. He does get the bunker there, and now the Marines just have to go home. There's not much they can do about this at all. The spawning pool's not done, mind you. They could actually try to kill this Overlord. Why are they pacing back and forth? Get shots off on the Overlord, man. He is still trying to make this happen. What is going on with Flash right now? I don't know. One of the SCVs goes down, another one fighting. Trying to do this without losing a drone. A little bit difficult. That pathing on that drone was stupid. He's going to let the bunker finish. It looks like, oh, the Marines baiting him out. Baiting him out here. They really want to kill that SCV who's building the bunker, and they do. Bunker almost complete, but not quite there yet. There are now 4 Marines present. 4 lings on the way. Drone's going back to work, and it looks like Zero was able to hold this early aggression. Flash is going to go back home and throw up an expansion at his natural base here too. Our drone friend Bobby here is actually going to try to steal this gas. He is successfully going to steal the gas from Flash here in this bottom right-hand corner. The forward bunker dies. Probably was canceled there. Slowlings versus Marines, pretty good, but not in 1-to-1 style numbers. Not when you're looking at like 6 versus 6, although he's going for it. The micro and the kiting back and forth here, just up and down. Pretty great from Flash. He's going to kill more of these Lings, I think. Oh, no. Actually, you know what? The Lings won. The Lings won that battle quite nicely. Again, unupgraded Marines are kind of garbage. They really are. They're just not good units. Without bunker support, without medic support, without some fire bats in there, slowlings can handle them before they get stim and whatnot. So look at this. The wall was almost complete. The barracks was built up here to give the Marines less walking time to get up to the Zerg base. And now it's just going to be part of a wall. It's just brilliant planning there by Flash on his... just on his part there. He's going to start Marine production again. Got Overlord scouting different places, trying to see is there a quick third base out. Actually going to be some aggression from Zero. He says, you know what? You've been aggressive so far in this game. It's my turn. You won't expect a counterattack, will you? He knows he stole the gas, so fire bats are going to be really hard to come by. It's just going to be Marines. But this looks like, I mean, 2 Marines on either side of this wall. Is there a gap here? I feel like there should be a gap there, but going after that supply depot, SCV pulled off the line to try to repair. The Marines sitting back here and firing and just doing their job. I don't think the Lings can get through there at all. Really, Zerglings, no. Maybe Lurkers, yeah, maybe some Hydras sitting back and picking off, but the Zerglings by themselves, even if they have speed, not going to be enough. Third hatch on the way at this base at the 12 o'clock position. It doesn't have a Vespene Geyser, so no gas there, which I find very interesting that Zero would take his third when there's no gas present. It almost indicates like he's planning on not really taking up all that much. Maybe just relying on more of a Ling-heavy composition. Mutiling would not be bad in that situation, but we'll see if he goes for the Spire or not. The Extractor's pretty late to be going for mutas at any stage of the game thus far. So there we go. Refinery taken at the natural by Flash. His main is still not available as there's still an Extractor sitting on top of it. Can't really scout worth beans, as it turns out. You can only see this much from the Extractor. So we can tell there's a barracks here. You can tell there's mining going on, but other than that, really not any information at all. Metabolic boost is on the way. We've seen some Zergs skip that until the mid or late game, but not Zero, not today. Wants to kill this scouting SCV. Not going to do it because they don't have speed for a while, but the Zerglings are working on it. Is that lair almost done? Gee howdy, lair. Take forever to come up, man. Marines, here we go. Here goes nothing. Bit of a little Marine attack here. No medic support, no fire bat support, just regular old Marines. I don't think they have stim either. Don't even have an academy, do we? There's your academy. It's almost done, but that means the upgrade is nowhere near complete. So the Marines coming up. There are exactly 9 of them? It's a weird number, but I guess a bunch of them did die earlier, so it's kind of hard to have a nice round number if there have been deaths previously. It is a Spire coming up here. These Marines are trying to get here before the Spire is ready to go. And there's just going to be Lings here to deal with these Marines. They do have speed, which means they can close the distance between themselves and the Marines a little bit better. SCV dies to a number of Zerglings, and the Marines say, I don't know if we want to go up there. There's a bunch of Lings. We saw that they have the speed upgrade, and even with these numbers, without medics, we're just going to have a bad time. So Flash pulling back. Lings doing a bit of a counterattack of their own here. And are these Overlords? Yeah, just placed for future scouting purposes, I guess. Lings going for it, kind of. But fantastic split on those units from Flash. It looks like there are 13, 14 of them. 12 of them fit in my group here, but 2 of them are not selected, so that's what we're looking at. All right, so Zerglings running on down, trying to do some additional scouting, perhaps just threatening Flash a little bit with a Ling attack, as they can sneak around down this way and get up behind. Ooh, Firebat medic here, but they're alone. Is that enough? Oh, man, the Marines are going. If the Zerglings aren't going to go home to defend, the Marines are going. Wow, that is a lot of attempted Sunkens here. Is there going to be enough Sunkens for this attack from Flash? I don't know. They're going for it, man. Lings are here. Drone here, too, from the back side. Here come the Zerglings, and the medics are present. They're trying to save the Sunkens, and yes, the Sunkens do start to pop here. Lings coming in to assist at the same time. And yeah, Flash's army they need to pull back. That is not a good place to be. There are 2 Sunkens with 1 more. All 3 Sunkens with almost 1 more there, and Zergling support. We do have, do we have any mutas on the way? Nah. He was forced to throw a lot of resources at those Sunkens, didn't have enough minerals to make Mutalisks, and Ling's Sunken had to hold the day. A bit of an earlier attack than standard, but Zero was ready for it. Zero held that quite nicely. He's got a macro hatch over here inside his main base too. Again, it's a very big open main base. I guess this is a really safe location to expand. It basically gives you, yeah, it gives your own mineral expansion. They don't have to worry about unless there are flying units out on the field, and Zero just decided to take it. No big deal. Doesn't need a whole ton of gas for what he's working on. So 6 mutas are on the way. Missile turrets coming up as Flash knows exactly what is coming. If you haven't seen anything but Zerglings by this stage of the game, it's going to be muta. That's where the gas is going at this stage. If you come in and see, so there aren't Lurkers, there aren't Hydras, just Sunkens, just Lings. Where's that gas going? What's it being banked for? The answer is going to be Mutalisk. 9 times out of 10. So getting range for his Marines, getting +1 attack for his Marines too. And the Fire Bats. The Fire Bats do benefit from that infantry upgrade very nicely. And yeah, still no sign of a 4th from Zero. I'm kind of surprised. I guess he's going to try to see what these mutas can do. They're heading down the right side of the map, but there are missile turrets. There's a second one almost here, and the SCVs can repair nicely too. Starport coming on in. A lot, I mean, likely going to be for science vessels, but yeah, double missile turret here. Dudes inside the missile turrets. Just, you must have to train for motion sickness to be a missile turret pilot, you think, right? Because if you have a weak stomach, you're going to throw up in that thing day one. Marines heading to see if there is a 4th base somewhere. They're heading up to the top left. They're checking for this base, which is actually pretty nice what it takes. Some good mineral count and a Vespine Geyser, but no, it's not there. And really, Flash feels pretty comfortable about leaving his base because he has a lot of Marines. He's got a bunker full of Marines. He's got a couple missile turrets here too. Yeah, I mean, economically and just military-wise here, Flash is way up. It's 85 to 62 supply. I know Zerg can run down supply and actually be fine towards the mid and late game, but this does not look good, especially against somebody as terrifying as Flash is with his 300 APM at this stage of the game. Marines running around. They find this drone was going to be a 4th base at some point. Is actually running for his little droney life. He can get out of here. There's actually an out of here place to be. That Marine says, why was I so greedy? Why did I follow those orders to chase after that poor drone? Mutalisk count getting a little bit scary here. Losing one nevertheless. Trying to pick off this army. Very nicely stacked. Losing another Mutalisk though. Still enough Marines present. They have that range upgrade. Still, Medic gets picked off there. And you know what? I think the Mutas are going to win this thing. Yeah, they're just going to stand in here now and just straight up win. Any more Mutas going to die in the meantime? Yes, one went down. But winning the battle quite nicely. Oh, the drone didn't go down the ramp. See that? No, the drone ends up dead anyway. The entire Terran army dies to kill that single drone. Not sure that was a fair trade. That might have gone pretty poorly for Flash there. The Radiate coming on in. Lurker aspect already done. Lurkers in production. Here for the Zerg player, Terran player. Flash has very nice SimCity. He always does, though. Supply depots down here. Academy hidden away. Hard to really pick off. Got a little bit of an L shape of barracks. Little tech structures around that right side. And then we're just making Marine, Tank, Firebat, and Medic. And by the Firebat, I mean there's one. There's one Firebat in this entire army. He can actually really do well for himself there against large ling counts. The problem is they really suck against Lurkers. And so if we see Lurkers on the field, you want Marines rather than those Firebats. 4th base on the way in the top left-hand corner for Zero. Attacking up the middle here is Flash. And really, he doesn't want to chase the Mutas around. It's very hard to do. They're very fast. So just put an assault on the front of your Zerg opponent. See what he can do about it. Oh, as an SCV gets picked off by the Mutaflock. Lurkers coming around here too. I'm not sure that Flash is aware of this. No, he's really not. Until now, when suddenly we are in. We have Lings, we have Mutalisk, there's a bunker here, there's a tank here. Lurker's going to burrow, and actually the army for Flash is coming home to deal with this. This is really, really scary stuff. There are actually a couple of Firebats in that bunker, so the Lings are getting massacred, but the Lurker's having a field day with it here. There is a science vessel that hasn't, I think it just popped out, doesn't have enough energy for anything. This science vessel does throw down the Irradiate. The 75 energy, get out of there, Mutalisk. Wounded, irradiated Mutalisk is getting on out. We did take care of the tank. SCVs are running for their lives. We got Lurkers kind of spread all over the place right now. And Flash is taking a lot of damage economically right now due to these Lurkers. Oh, big time. Oh, big time hit on those SCVs. This attack was so bad for Flash. So well timed for Zero. Just getting on in here. Detection is available, so the tanks are trying to pick these guys out, but that is so many dead SCVs. It's now 75 to 64 supply. Lurkers burrowing in. They're going to take out another SCV there. One of the Lurkers does get picked off by the tank. Tank's really, really good against Lurkers. So this bio army didn't really get injured all that much, but the income is abysmal right now for Flash. This main base literally has no mining going on it whatsoever, does have the natural base, and does kind of have this third mineral base here, but there's no mining going on there at all regardless. Meanwhile, Zero sitting here on a 3-base economy. His 4th base is done. He's starting to harvest from that one too. He's got Lings out. They don't have any upgrades. The Lurkers have upgrades? I don't think they do. So the upgrades are definitely going to favor Flash here, and this push really needs to make something happen. Ooh, Lurker stabbing on in. Yeah, well, the Science Vessels are slow. Science Vessels are slow compared to Marines with Stim. They ran up. They outstripped the Science Vessels. Irradiate on one of the Lurkers. Just going to burrow in and accept his death. That's really all he can do if he get irradiated here. It's such an interesting spell. I mean, technically it is damage over time, but it does kill many units that it hits. Defilers and Lurkers being a couple of them. Zerglings still with no upgrades, mind you. Oh, just kidding. Plus One Carapace has finished just recently here, and he doesn't want to engage with Flash's army, so he's just going to straight up engage Flash's front door. Wow, those Marines. Wow, there's a lot of dead Zerglings. A lot of dead Zerglings here. Lurkers burrowing in this natural base, getting some hits off on the command center, which, and maybe the ComSat station a little bit here. I don't know. Don't actually know. Meanwhile, Lurkers, there's the revenge. Avenge the dead Zerglings, man. With Lurkers. Thank you very much. Is the army, did they see? Well, they see it now. They know that there's a base there. We're in a bit of a base race type scenario here in game number 2. 77 to 70 supply. Oh, the Lurkers, get out. Oh, they took the wrong way. Okay. This has been a lot of dead SCVs in this game. Actually, it's leaving a few units up here to take down the 4th base of Zero, but his natural base is in shambles. He's forced to lift off this command center entirely. Lurkers a major part of the strategy for Zero here in game number 2. There are Marines. There's a tank with Siege, really set up in a nice spot where Zerglings can't do much about it, is the thing. So the Lurkers need to get into a position, double irradiate on the Lurkers. That's actually pretty nice. So we got a couple hits off, maybe before he dies. Maybe the one. Maybe the one is it. Ooh, another Lurker down here. Flash is holding as best as he currently can. But at 70-50 supply, what a scrappy game this has been. Absolutely amazing. Ooh, the medic's kind of walking into danger there. Wow, this Lurker has 17 kills before it gets picked off. SCV count, very sad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's like 12, maybe 20 SCVs at the 15-minute mark of this game. The 4th base is gone, which is nice for Flash, but it's still a 3 base versus effectively a 1.5 base economy for Flash. He lost a lot of Marines there. We got the tanks out. We got the Science Vessels out. Zero's going for it, man. Check this guy out. He's like, you got tanks? I don't care. You got to radiate? I don't care. I'm going Ling Lurker here today. I'm going to take down your tanks, and that's a good game out of Flash. Wow. Zero making it happen with just pretty much direct aggression in that game. I mean, it was Lurker Ling the whole way. It was some Mutalisks. They didn't do a whole lot. Check this out. He was working on Defiler. He was working on Scourge. If he needed to get to late game, he had the tools for it, which is nice. That was very fantastically well played by Zero there in our 15-minute game. And yeah, it was just wave after wave after wave, and really not fully upgraded anything. Ground 1 Carapace was done. Nobody had attack upgrades at all, as we evidenced by those Zerglings futilely trying to kill those Marines. With the support of those medics there, that was brutal. Just absolutely brutal. And yeah, those SCV massacres with the Lurkers were disgusting. They just make your Terran sympathies cry out in pain. So good job there by Zero. Ties it up 1-1. So we basically reset the series. It's the best 2 of 3 now. We'll see if Flash will respond. I imagine he will. Actually, let's go ahead and take a look at that final score on this game. I just want to see. I want to see. Yeah, look at this. Produced 273 units, lost 173 of them. The attrition rate for Zero in this game was amazing. He lost everything he threw at him, but the biggest thing here was the lost units 165 to 173 for the Terran. And the Terran can't afford to lose units this fast. A lot of those are SCVs. That is such bad news bears, and the economy just up in all categories by 0. So we'll come back with game 3. Hold on a second. All right, we're back. We're back with more. Top right, Zero in purple. Bottom left, Flash in green once again. And yes, it's electric circuit. This leads up to that little base with minerals. But I figured you knew that already. Just making sure. Just making sure that nobody who joined in the middle would be confused by that. Do you hop into the middle of YouTube videos? Or is that just a relic of TV? I'm pretty darn sure that is a relic of TV. Alright, well I do stream on Twitch. Did you know that? I've been streaming on Twitch. I've been playing the StarCraft Remastered campaign out there if you want to do some nostalgia. If you want to go back and watch somebody else or just hear the voice lines, see what's new. See what they've updated in the Remastered campaign, because there is some new stuff. The 3D portraits are new. Some of the little cutscenes are new. I mean, by cutscene, I mean where it used to be just words, they have some like very rudimentary animations and drawings out there, which is pretty cool to see. And then they still have the cinematics. Just even now, a lot of the time, it just gives me goosebumps to see battlecruisers flying about and carriers doing stuff. Zerg units still look kind of plastic and weird, which harder to 3D animate flesh and living stuff. Definitely, and especially back in 1998 when they were doing this stuff. Anyway, twitch.tv/Falcon Paladin every Saturday and Sunday at about 11 a.m. Eastern U.S. time. Come say hello, throw me a follow. I might actually do some Warcraft 2 stuff out there in the future. We're just going for the nostalgia play, honestly. Brood War's been some of my most successful stuff on YouTube, so I figured let's go all the way. Let's just go all the way back with the Blizzard things. We might do Rock and Roll Racing and the Lost Vikings at some point, just because apparently old Blizzard stuff is where it's at. Okay, I understand. It's pretty much StarCraft is the thing. StarCraft is the more important thing to you guys, but hey, that's happening right now, twitch.tv/Falcon Paladin. All right, what's going on? What's going on here? It looks like it is a hatch first play out of our Zerg player. A 0 flash throughout the barracks at the front again. He can bring it back home to be part of this wall as necessary, but this indicates he's going to be trying to pressure. The problem is he is SCV scouting in the wrong direction. It is cross-spawn position, which is the worst place to be if you're sending 2 workers out trying to find where your Zerg opponent is on a 4-player map. Ugh. The fact that 0 was here is really good for him, and he doesn't even know it yet, because the SCVs won't be able to figure out where the Zerg player is. I mean, by now, by the process of elimination, you scout at the bottom right, you scout at the top left. There's no creep up here. It takes a while to get to that point, and yeah, he didn't see an expansion at all. So that was enough for him. And check this out. Third hatch coming up before that pool from 0. He's feeling extremely confident, but there are already Marines on the way, which the drone does scout. The drone sees the barracks in this location and says, aggression, you say. Well, I better throw down a pool. It's going to be forever until it's complete. Meanwhile, drones are going to have to fight for their own lives. This bunker going to come up, and I think 0's in trouble, man. Yeah, man. Is this double barracks action, or is this just a backup SCV? I think that's just a backup SCV is what that guy is. So, yeah, that SCV pulls off. This one gets some shots off, gets some, well, not shots, but some building time. Some classic quality building time on that bunker here on the front. Now the Marines are present. The drones will just die. Here we go again. We saw this in game 2 with the drones getting pulled, and they really want to kill these Marines. That is actually not a bad strategy, is to just kill the Marines. But 3 of them have showed up now. A lot of drones are dying. This is going so poorly, but it is buying time for the Zerg player to get his pool up. All right, so 3 of the Marines go down. These guys just run. They're done. They're injured. They're not really interested in fighting. Actually, maybe they are. Get him. Get him. Bring the wounded drone back. They get him, and this guy survives. Fantastic. Bunker's canceled. And the flash says that's enough. That is enough. I'm going to send my SCV home. This SCV is going to be for scouting. I'm going to cancel the bunker. And there are some Zerglings on the way. I like that 0 didn't panic. He didn't immediately make as many Zerglings as he could. He just made a couple, just made a pair, and he's going to use them to defend here. He really feels like the aggression is over. Flash is very happy with how that went. He probably killed 4, 5, maybe even 6 drones in exchange for 3 Marines and maybe an SCV and the cost on that bunker. Yeah, I mean, that was a victory by all senses from the Terran player. All right. So excellent job there. Meanwhile, back home, there's our wall, there's our expansion, and pretty much a carbon copy of what we saw there in game number 2. Now, the question is, can 0 do this again? Can 0 just go Ling, Lurker with some Muta support and just win the day against Flash? I don't know if that's entirely possible. I do like he got his 3rd base up earlier, though, and successfully is able to get it with the income that he needs. And again, did not make a whole ton of Panic Lings. Made 2 of them. to chase this SCV around and make sure he's not here to scout what goes on next. I would be interested to see if there's going to be a lair here. There is no extractor coming up with a natural base. It's just going to be drones and drones and drones and overlords thus far for the Zerg player. He may be a little bit too greedy. I mean, okay, there's your lair. He does have gas. He does have the one extractor, which is exactly what you want. But this could be marine production from our Terran player Flash. He's going to go ahead and get the +1 attack. Get an academy in here too, which is way down here in the south, almost covered by the minimap. And yeah, yes indeed, there we are. Oh, do want to talk a little bit about the Falcon Paladin Hour too. That is a weekly podcast. Just search Falcon Paladin on your podcast app, on your phone, or on a browser, really, Mac or Windows. It doesn't really matter where you're coming from. And it's a weekly podcast with myself and an Australian buddy of mine named Samacron. We talk about StarCraft. We talk about movies and TV shows and books. We've discussed Infinity War. We've done talks about Spider-Man, the video game. So whatever's going on in nerd pop culture, we talk about it. Talk about a little sports ball there too, which is something I'm a fan of. I do enjoy both the esports and the sports ball, which I think there's a pretty slim Venn diagram sliver that covers people like me that way. And it kind of makes me sad. Like, competition's competition. I don't see how esports people look down on sports ball people, and definitely vice versa. If you talk to football people and try to convince them that StarCraft is a legitimate sport, they will laugh at you a lot. I've tried to make this argument, guys. It does not go well. Anyway, it is Aspire coming up for our Zerg player Zero. He's got double gas. That's all the gas is available to him right now. He's going metabolic boost. So this Ling speed and the Mutalisks. Meanwhile, no real surprises from Flash. I mean, he's working on a lot of barracks, a lot of Marines. Medic support here too, thanks to the Academy getting stim, getting +1 attack. And is he going for the U57? Is he going to stim is done. He's going to go for the is it U571, or I'm getting that confused with the with the submarine movie U571, which now that I'm saying it, it does seem like I'm wrong about that. But Marine attack range is pretty fantastic. It's really, really useful here. In other news, so I've been watching some StarCraft Brood War players play on Twitch recently. Just play from a first-person perspective. I've been watching Jae Yun play Terran, and it is insane how fast they're playing. Jae Yun is playing incredibly fast, and he's not even one of the fastest players out there. So, I mean, I don't even know how he does it. He's just macroing is fast. He's attacking the middle of the map. He's defending with first off. He's irradiating Ultralisks, and he's irradiating Defilers, and he continues to make Marines. And the Zerg players just coming at him and over and over and over again. And it's just, watching it from a first player perspective is just such an interesting experience. But yeah, Jae Yun's out there on Twitch. Jaeeyun. If you just search for him, you'll be able to find him. But yeah, Terran player, still pretty active in the game, and really great dude. All right, so Marines pushing up with some medic support. This is our traditional 7-minute attack. This is a lot of Marines. And this is something that we generally try to defend with lurkers in certain situations if you're Zero. But nah, just going to make 9 Mutalisks and basically try to pick off the medics from distance, try to pick off the Marines who are at the edges of this group. Kind of like hyenas. Pick off the lone and the single lions from the pack if they can. Or actually more often just go after the already dead ones. But you know what I mean. Scavenger type behavior. Going after the stuff that's on the outside rather than attacking directly at the forefront of the force of your enemy. I really can't think of any animals that do that, actually. A lot of animals will pick off at the edges, but honestly, just going for a straight-up battle other than humans, it's not really how animals do their thing. It's one-on-one, not so much battle versus battle. All right, so we do have some Sunkens on the way here. 2 Sunkens on the way, and if you want to engage with Sunkens when there's a Mutaflock in the sky, it's not going to go well for you, Flash. Let's just say that. I don't think this is something that he wants to do, but he's putting the pressure up anyway. A 3rd Sunken coming in. Mutas trading HP basically to kill Marines. They're sacrificing their own number and their own well-being to make this Marine count a little bit lower than it otherwise would be. And killing medics too. That's a major victory there. Medics down means this Marine group is a lot less good than it otherwise would be. Lurker aspect coming in. Got the Mutas first. Could have Lurkers by now, but nope. Not going to happen. There is your sensor sweep. Did he sensor sweep this? Or this? Maybe this. There's a 4th base. Oh, the Ling's actually drawing a lot of the fire there. And the Mutaflock's been doing pretty well. There's 8 of them. There's been 8 for a while. And yeah, this base is happily mining that 4th base. So the longer this goes, the better it is for Zero. He's able to get Lurker aspect up, able to get some Lurkers in here to defend along with the Sunken Colonies. and really make it hard for Flash to do anything with this attack. Going for it, though. Here we go. Muta's going to pick off at the ends here, absorbing shots from the Marines. And yeah, the Sunkens are going to be okay here. One more down. The repair, the heal up pretty great. And now it's just the Muta. Hydra's popping out, dying instantly to this group, trying to pick off those medics before they can heal each other up and just be so hard to kill. Mutaflock is down to 6 from 8, but the Marine count is dwindling steadily here. Another base down at the bottom right. That Zero tried to take. These medics are eventually going to die. It's going to take a while. And yeah, this 4th base in the bottom right. Check this action out. Zero. So cheeky. He is. So this base is toast. Top left base is okay. We'll call that the 4th base from now on. And really, I don't think much died here. Sunkens died. Maybe a couple drones died. A couple Hydras died there too. But Zero's okay. Zero's doing all right. Yet another army for Flash is heading up this left side. They have some work to do. Mutaflock down to 6, not being replaced. All that gas is going to Lurkers instead. How are the upgrades looking? +1 attack is done for the Marines. I believe they have the range. Hard to tell. Hard to tell exactly what's going on with that from time to time. And yep, the Mutas are here. This is, again, Mutas really only to defend. Oh, almost got that medic. That medic got injured quite nicely. But again, this base in the top left in a ton of trouble. Not even close to getting a Sunken there. It's a creep colony, for heaven's sakes. Muta's dying. There's only 4 of them. I think he needs to sacrifice this base. The aggression by Flash has been too much. Too much for him. Lurker pops out. Doesn't even burrow. I mean, there would be a sensor sweep there anyway. So it really didn't matter in the long run. But yeah, base down. Now we're looking at... there's another one along this right side. So we're trying real hard to get a 4-base economy if you're Zero. And maybe it's going to work out. He's doing okay thus far. He has lost a couple hatches, which really does hurt in the minerals and resources lost category. But Lurkers burrowing in to defend this base. Lurkers almost there to defend the natural base. These Zerglings just getting massacred in the middle of the map there for really no reason at all. Oh, yeah, okay. All right, guys, careful. Careful there. There's Sunkens. Where's your tanks? Here's your tank. The tank have siege mode? I believe the tank. Well, let's see. Yep. Siege mode is done. Zero needs to break this, or his natural is toast. Marines attacking on up. And yeah, that's it. Zero taps out, says, okay, I don't have anything to deal with that at all. I have exactly 3 Lurkers, 4 Zerglings, couple Lurkers up here, couple more Lurkers in egg form, and that's literally it. This is a huge, scary army with +1/+1, 3 siege tanks, and a science vessel to spot. So Lurkers can't even be really of much help here. So got a little bit greedy there. Try to get some bases. Flash killed those. Try to get more bases. Flash killed those. Try to get another base. Flash just said, I'm just going to 2-base kill you. Never even really got a 3rd at all. He's kind of in position to make one, but that's about it. Kind of threatening to, but never actually got around to it. So good job by Flash. Good response. It's going to be up 2-1 in the series here, and can close it out in the next game in just 4 games against Zero. And we'll see if it works out for him or if Zero can force a game at number 5. Regardless, stick with it. Okay, here we are. Let's see what happens in this game. Again, on electric circuit, top right-hand corner, red Zerg 0, bottom right-hand corner, Flash in green. This is not a repeat. It's electric circuit, same colored players, same spawn locations, but I guarantee this is a different game because it's a different replay with a different size. Whew. Try to say all right a little bit less. I've been watching some of my old replays, and I think all right is kind of just a filler word for me. It's better than or ah or like. Ooh, let me tell you a story about that. So I'm listening to a podcast maybe 2 or 3, maybe even 4 years ago now. It has a guest, and the guest basically kind of talked a bit like a Valley Girl, right? Valley Girl accent, like, okay, like then this happened, like my boyfriend, like this happened, like Charlotte. He said like pretty much 400 times in the course of that interview. It was about 40 to 45 minutes to an hour. So I tweeted at the host and said, hey, how come this guy, this adult man, is talking basically like a valley girl? I mean, it wasn't with the accent. He just said like a million times. And the dude responded and said, it's because we don't allow profanity on our podcast. And he was doing that in a desperate attempt to avoid throwing down the F-bomb throughout the course of the entire interview. His brain was like, oh, I can't say that word, so what do I say instead? And it was like, which I thought was hilarious. It was a really great story. And then they got mad at me for insulting this dude for using like all the time. But then it blew over. Twitter, whatever. I'm not really super active talking to people on Twitter. I'll post stuff and I'll like stuff, but I don't really have conversations out there. It's a really bad, actually, medium for conversation. I'd much rather use Reddit. I'd much rather use some of the other sports message boards that I'm on to have a conversation. And I have been doing that for a long time, by the way. I mean, I've been talking sports on the internet since 97, 98. It's been a very, very long time. All right, it's 20 years. Sheesh. So Barracks here, a little bit of some drone harass from Zero. Nothing too serious, though. It's going to take any damage, a little bit of damage, 15 points of damage there. And can this drone get through here? I feel like it should be able to get through here. That's a big gap. That might be a wall. We saw Flash use this previously, and I'm pretty sure even Zerglings couldn't slip through there. And I'm pretty sure Zero would get in there if he could, right? To see what's going on, to get that scout off. But no, not available. Not available at all. The Marine is now out, and definitely not available now. So SCV comes in, scouts things out, and says, aha, that is a hatchery. And is there a third hatchery? Yes, by golly, there is. So again, going for a more macro-style play. Here is Zero in game number 4. He doesn't feel like he has to kill Flash early. Doesn't feel like he has to go for some aggressive play, which I can respect. I mean, people are of different minds in match point type situations in tournaments. Either you want to try to kill your opponent fast if you don't feel you can hang with them in the macro stages of the game, but it's a little bit risky because if you go for the cheese and your opponent holds it, you lose fast and you look dumb. And people remember, oh, he lost in the semifinals of that major tournament back in 2018 going for cheese and it failed. Whereas if you go for a macro style game, it just feels like a more honorable death. You know what I mean? So I think that's what Zero's going for here. He's not going to go for anything too insane. This drone is harassing. The wall's gone. Oh, gets the SCV kill. Hero drone. And I'm going to try to stay away. Oh, there's a vulture out though. Oh, the vulture's not even going to try to kill the drone. Pathing is so dumb. It's so dumb. Oh, the drone makes it up the right side anyway. He's going to go ahead and check for, I guess, a base up here. Maybe hide, regen some of his HP. But Vulture's already out. Very quick Vulture play here from Flash. And the dude is on the bike. Look how muscly he is, too. Those triceps are big. Getting shots off on Zerglings. Shooting while he's running. Yeah, he is awesome. I mean, actually, he sounds more like this than like this. It's not really a deep voice for those Vulture bike dudes. Why are we mining from here? What does... Oh, right. So if you mine this out and kill this Phi Disruptor, you get an access to this third, again, ostensibly safe base. I've seen this mechanic before, and it might have been on this very map. It hasn't really come into play thus far in this series, but maybe it will here. Really, I don't know. Flash is playing with it. Flash is trying to see if he wants to or not, and then decides, meh. Nah, not going to happen. Command center under construction, natural base there. We are making a drop ship and working on the spider mine upgrade. So some Vulture play definitely going to feature heavily here for Flash. Hydralisk done is on the way for the Zerg player Zero, and Hydras are, oh, Hydros Den is done. Hydras are on the way. This is what we meant to say there. So Hydra is pretty good, actually, against Vultures in a straight-up one-to-one type scenario. The Vultures do not want to stand and fight there at all, but they are faster than the Hydras are, so they can run past them. But we do have a Sunken here in case a run-by attempts to happen. Spider Mine's getting thrown down at the front, but Hydras with range, with Overlord support, do surprisingly well against these. Really, the intent, I think, is more just to slow down the Zerg advance than anything else. Overlord checking to see, is there a third base on the way, or possibly there for Flash yet? No. Absolutely not. Spire coming in for Zero. Flash making a Wraith. A Wraith follow-up to that drop ship. We have not seen Wraiths very much on the channel in the Brood War. They just suck. Their ground attack is bad. Their air attack is pretty great. We've seen a lot of people suggest going Wraith against Protoss, especially when they have carriers to catch those trailing ones. Now look at this. Vulture Bike makes it in. Throws down a spider mine inside Zero's base, which is hilarious. Another one. More dudes make it on up here. And I don't think they're... Oh, well, that guy died to the sunken. But he got his 3 spider mines down, which is pretty darn nice. And he's going to try to bait the Hydras into the spider mines. Or, ooh, can he get close enough to actually hit those drones? I don't think he can. I don't think he can. And once again, you don't want to engage with these Hydras, so that's exactly why the vultures are not... Oh, that sunken is having a field day. Just picking off vultures left and right. Dropship got him in there. That's what that dropship was for. And where's my Wraith? Where my Wraith is at? Is it still building? No. Okay, good. This is our Wraith. This is our Wraith, buddy. 20 damage per shot against air units, fine. 8 damage with a very slow attack rate versus ground units. You can try to kind of harass here, but dude, there's already Hydras out. Even if you had Cloak, which you don't, doesn't matter. There's Overlords everywhere here for Zero. I just don't see this happening. Spider Mines are at all the places that our friend Zero would like to expand along the top side at some point. We have Spider Mines down every main path to the Terran base, and now the Hydras are going to have to clear those suckers out, which they're okay with. I think they're better at it than Dragoons are. Sometimes you see Dragoons actually take shots from Spider Mines, even if they're specifically clearing them out, which is hilarious. Yeah, sending a Zergling down is also a fair trade. Run! There's your Cloak, though! Ah ha ha! Cloak is done on the Wraith. Mutas can't chase him down and kill him unless the Overlords have speed, which they don't, and which is not being researched at all. No Pneumatized Carapace to speak of. Alright, so Mutas are in. That Marine count is not healthy. They're all gonna die. However, the Rays are doing serious business, and they can keep up the Mutas too. Ow, ow, ow. I mean, Valkyries are better against Mutalisks, unequivocally. But hey, you're gonna get free shots off. They're free shots. You kill a Mutalisk, that's a free Mutalisk. No big deal. Okay, Zergling. Well, this drone actually ends up bypassing the 2 potential expansion locations that Flash was prepared for and just goes for this top left-hand corner, which is hilarious. I mean, all of that work that Flash did, and Zero's like, nah, just expand up here. Don't mind me. Don't mind me at all. Scourge in production, Lurker production. There are 2 Pneumatized Carapace for the Zerg player. Finally, recognizing that maybe mobile and fast detection is going to be useful here. These raids kind of seem like wasted units at this point in the game. Don't know. I don't know what we're expected to see. This is from 2012, by the way. If you've made it this far into the cast and would like to know what year this is from, it's 2012. Well, getting Carapace, something that Zero has been a fan of here. Scourge trying to catch a science vessel as it pops out, but good missile turret placement means no. Not allowed. Absolutely not going to happen here. Do the Wraiths have kills? One of them has a kill. They both have kills! Good job, Wraiths. Looking fantastic. I don't know how you hover. I don't know what internal mechanics exist there to where you actually hover, but that's totally fine. Mutaflock getting a little bit scary. There's 9 of them. Do they have any upgrades? Absolutely not. Upgrades are for wimps. There's a bunker here. There's an Irradiate. Get it out. There we go. Nice split off by Zero. Fantastic play by him. And the 4th base ends up hatching for a Zero. You know, the concept of Zero didn't exist for a long time. We had math, but then who specifically? I want to say, was it Turks? It was somebody in the Middle East that came up with the concept of Zero. Some pretty good math back in the like 10, 11, 1200s from those guys. Mutas flying around. Free science vessel. I mean, I guess if you don't want a science vessel, we will absolutely make it so you can't make any more, well, science facilities, science vessels. Irradiate, good pull. Another Irradiate. Good pull. Another Irradiate here. And are any of the science vessels going to die? Yes. One goes down there, but several Mutalisks die. The Wraiths chasing these guys out of their neighborhood. Oop, trying not to get turned around on and destroyed, but wow, that was well held. Was this bait? Do you think Flash baited this out here so the Mutas would come in and try to kill it? That's kind of amazing if that was exactly what happened. A couple of macro hatches up here for Zero. Terran base looks like this. Some people do like to see the giant overview of what's going on in here. Kind of gives them ideas for their own SimCity and how they want to set up their bases to see how Flash does it. And that's it. That's what you want to see. All right, so Zergling Lurker. We've seen this play. We've seen this play for sure from Zero. It's worked in the past fairly well against Flash. This time Flash has more tanks earlier. He also has a whole bunch of Marines and medics, which is not different. But he has more tanks, which are kind of the answer to these lurkers, as tanks definitely outrange them, and especially if you have the detection to see them. Fast Lord sees the army coming. In production, we have Hydras. Oh, Scourge getting the one. Oh, all the other Scourge get picked out of the sky there, though, by the Marines. Fantastic job by Flash. But what else really have we come to expect from this man? That Carapace upgrade is really all Zero's interested in doing. He wants his guys to have a little bit more survivability. Doesn't care how hard they hit. At least doesn't want them to hit any harder than they do. Already, based on the upgrade timings, Hive in production, the Defilers and the Dark Swarm are what you're going to need to deal with this composition. Great against Marines, pretty good against tanks. And yeah, Lurkers are getting picked off the screen is how far away they are here. Trying to get a bit of a flank attack, sort of, kind of. Getting on top of these tanks, letting the Lurkers getting burrowed in, and now forcing the Marines back here. One tank down, a lot of the bio is going to die here too. Only one tank is sieged up. That was well played by Zero. That forced the entire Terran army back quite nicely, and he kept a bunch of his Lurkers alive, which is a huge part of it too. And he's allowed to keep this top left-hand base, this fourth base, making a Nidus Canal between it and his main-ish. Somewhere. Maybe that's the first one. Maybe the second canal is not even able to be constructed yet. But yeah, Defiler's on the way. Well, Defiler Mound on the way here. Ooh, a couple medics just getting blown apart there. Picked apart, spined apart there by the Lurkers. Again, who don't have any upgrades to speak of. Ling's going for the flank attack. We're trying to get on top of this army from all distances here. Lurkers just, wow, a lot of dead Marines. Tank is a little bit too far back to help with this, and then you just pick up and move out. Irradiate, consistently coming in to pick off your Lurkers. That one is already pretty injured. Maybe not a great target from Flash there, but that's okay. Adrenal Glands on the way. Scourge, oh, gonna catch him. Gonna catch him. One of them goes down. That's a win. Continuing to push forward, though, despite the losses, despite the casualties. Flash is not going home. Scourge really want to pick these guys off. The Science Vessels are the core of the Terran army right now. Detection for Lurkers. Irradiate on the Lurkers. Irradiate on the Defilers. No real solid way to deal with Defilers other than Science Vessels, I'd say. I mean, if you didn't have Science Vessels, how would you do it? I guess tank fire. Maybe try to send Marine groups up to kill him, but then you're just going to get plagued. Consume is almost done here too, so the Defilers that might exist aren't doing exactly a ton of good work. They don't have enough energy to really do anything awesome as of late. Regardless, having Flash parked outside your front door is not where you want to be. Scourge caught another one there. This has been some pretty good Scourge stuff out of Zero. I mean, replacing a Science Vessel is like 200 plus on the mineral count there. There's the Dark Swarm, and Flash knows it's time to retreat. We can't fight here. Pull back. It's just a zoning maneuver by Zero to get the Terran army off of his front doorstep. That's what this is. This is like anti-Terran fog. They try to breathe it. They see it and they just run in fear is what happens. Third base still alive. Did you know about this, Flash? Yeah. Actually, no. Flash has scouted a surprising little amount. As far as... No, he knows about... I don't know how vision works. Why can't he know about those buildings? Whatever. I'm fairly sure. Well, he knows about this. He sees this coming up because he scanned it. He's going to kill it, too. Defiler has enough energy for some stuff and some Lurkers. All right, so there's the Dark Swarm. There's the Consume. There's the Irradiate. Dude, you got to get a spell off. You got to do it. But regardless, again, get out of here, Terran, is what Dark Swarm means. And the Defiler goes off into a corner to die. Bit of an attack here, too, along the right side. Zergling's coming up. They have Adrenal Glands. They hit fast. And they hit, I mean, not all that hard considering they don't have any attack upgrades at all, but still, fast is good. Hitting fast is a nice thing. Did the tanks have any upgrades? Nah. Unupgraded tanks versus unupgraded Marines. Again, metabolic boost, +1 carapace, and Adrenal Glands. And some Marines do come in to save those tanks. So, Zero kind of doing whatever he wants right now. Not that Flash isn't expanding either. He does manage to take his fourth base in the bottom central section of the map here on Electric Circuit. Pushing up the left side again. The Marines do have +2 attack and +1 armor. This is a big, scary army. Where's your Defiler at? Where is your Defiler now? Here it is, irradiated, but it gets the Dark Swarm up, but it's too late. The Lurkers are dead already. Zergling, not a bad answer to this, if it's just Marine. Marine's getting out of the Dark Swarm, though, and suddenly Zerglings don't do as well. Are you just irradiating? Yeah, man, the Defilers are getting irradiated as soon as they show up here. Oh, using the play! Using the irradiated Science Vessel to pick off a lot of those drones, but a lot of Science Vessels died there. Usually that goes better for Flash. Either way, desperate Zerglings here with Adrenal Glands trying to get rid of these Marine boys. That +2 attack coming in handy for sure. Another Dark Swarm hiding inside the Dark Swarm. The hatchery's not dead, but it's almost there. Medics sneaking on in, and yes, they are going to go be able to heal these Marines. This base is toast, and I assume this one is too. Nidus Canal means instant reinforcement, which is nice. Defiler's coming in here as well. And there's the Irradiate. He's got to get a spell off before he dies. Maybe possibly 2, but he's... Yes, 2 Dark Swarms do get up here. And some very nice positioning results in this. Lurker Spines catching these Marines out of position, and they are all going to die. But guess what's coming up? More green stuff. More green stuff sneaking on up from the bottom side. Scourge catch another Science Vessel down. Wow. Okay, well, this is the battlefront. This is where we're going to be. Nidus Canal needs to pop out some additional Defilers because this is a very big, very scary army. The hatch is down. The hatch is immediately replanted by 0. Got another base on the right side here that he's not mining from at all. He's got a Mac or a Nidus to connect to this one, I guess. Another base. 0. Expanding like a boss here. He might actually be able to pull this off and force a game 5, you guys. Although it is 152 to 97 supply. Defilers are force multipliers in a huge way. Smaller number of Lurkers can do pretty well if they have the Dark Swarm available. They did it there. Ah, the irradiate maneuver. But all your Lurkers are dead. Ooh, there's the play again. Irradiate the Science. The Science Vessels. Can't irradiate the Defiler. Let's just run all over him. Run, Defiler. Waddle away. No, not going to happen. How about this base? This base is probably ripe. He's just really worried about Scourge popping out is what he's worried about right now. So that base gets replanted, but we have a lot of hatcheries right now for 0. Massive. Incredible income for him thus far, I just have to imagine. I mean, sure, another base in the bottom left here for Flash, but another attack from Flash here, too. He's up 164 to 101 supply. Defiler's getting irradiated. Pretty good Plague. Ooh, solid Plague on these Science Vessels. One of them manages to dodge it, but this is where you make just a flock of like 6 Mutalisks and try to pick these guys off because they will be on 1 HP here. And every bounce of a Mutalisk attack means dead Science Vessel. Okay, not 1, down to 3, but still close enough. Attacking open up to this base, which seems like a weird place to attack. Just because it's just minerals, but I guess if it's vulnerable, it's vulnerable. So what are you complaining about? Yeah, the heals are really great there. Sunken Colony cannot hold it by himself. Not at all. Meanwhile, a drop inside the main base. We've got Zerglings. We got Defilers. We got Dark Swarms. It's not going to accomplish a whole lot, I don't think. Not as much as this drop by Flash is going to do. Sure, you'll have direct assault on some of these supply depots, but these are not production facilities, and these are not tech structures either. They're just supply depots, and I'm pretty sure that Flash is oversupplied anyway. Yeah, when you've got Science Vessels up here just kind of hanging out. Oh, there we go. Hydra's picking off the Science Vessels from distance. I'm liking it. Ooh, using Defensive Matrix on this Fire Bat. Let's see this guy go. How many kills is he going to get before he ends up falling down? The answer is 2. It is dos. These Lurkers are still doing stuff, but Flash is not really all that concerned about it. He'll irradiate them if he needs to at some point, but nah. Plague on the Marines. That will suck all of the energy off of your medics if you're not careful. If you're not constantly moving, they will stop and try to heal the Marines as they're actively getting their HP drained, and it just wastes all of the energy on them. See this? Medic, 25 energy. Medic, 12 energy. Medic, 4 energy, which means I'm a little bit less useful. Zerglings throwing their lives away. Dark Swarm a little bit late. Drop here at the natural base. Sunken Colony at the back end trying to help with this. Scourge want to get that dropship, and I think they're going to be able to pick it off. No big deal. So dropship goes down, but Drop is still alive. And Ultralisks are out for 0. Okay, this might be what he needs. This might be what he needs for this. What are the upgrades on them? 5 and 2. Not too shabby. Was working on that ground carapace when I wasn't paying attention. Anabolic Synthesis on the way. Ultras popping out of that Nidus. And suddenly the Marines are not all that interested in attacking here. Actually, not bad. Not too shabby, but still. A lot of Marines are dying. Irradiating that Lurker. Getting some spines off. Assisting with it. Ultralisk down. Has 3 kills. But it does force flashback from this location. Scouting with an engineering bay. Got a Marine over here. Another expansion from Flash. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5th base for him. Some of you guys are injured science vessels, but not all that many. Yeah, 1 Ultralisk unsupported by himself. Not going to do a whole ton. And irradiating the Ultralisk just to take some HP off of him. Will not kill him, but does cause some problems. I keep thinking this is a drop, but it's just an engineering bay. I am trying to watch that mini-map. Marine with 5 kills. What a boss this dude is. He's a private. Thank you very much. Medic down. Did I hear tank fire? I am hearing something. There's a drop here. Ultra Ling drop inside the main base with Lings that have better upgrades. Mind you, meanwhile, a Marine drop back here at the 4th base in the top left-hand corner for 0 is going to do terrible, terrible damage to the Zerg player. But the Ultra is inside the main of Flash, causing some problems. At least until a giant group of Marine with 3-3 just decided to get rid of those dudes. Scourge do catch a couple more science vessels. These Marines getting rid of gas income for the Zerg player. This Ultra will be the death of them along with some Ling support. So a lot of drones died, but I think 0 should be able to recover. That's at its 168 to 107 supply, which not where you want to be. Not where you want to be if you are 0. Zerglings going for a flank attack from the top side. Decide to actually attack on in and just die. Anything in these Overlords? No, absolutely not. But some Zerglings do get a bit of a run by. There's tank defense and Marine defense here, so nope, that's not really going to happen. Zerglings as well. The Filer actually alive for longer than 5 seconds. I jinxed it! Ooh, get the Dark Swarm up with 2 HP. The Ling's trying to get inside the Swarm. Can't do it. Can't actually do it here. Mortifiler is trying to join the party due to plague would be great. What are you just walking these guys in? Like they own the joint? That's amazing. That's absolutely hilarious right here. Zerglings trying to find the little areas where they are susceptible to these attacks. And it is a bit of a trail here. Not quite the Trail of Tears. Famous play, but still not too shabby. He has the walk. He's got, don't get outside of the circle. Oh, he alive. This Ultralisk has 6 kills. He is mashing his face on that bunker like he owns it. Tank splash with Marine support. This guy is really hard to kill though. He's got 6 armor. He'll get there. But he will take some guys with him. 9 kills on that Ultralisk. Got more Lings and Ultras running in to join the party. What a scrappy game this game is. However, it is 180 to 104 supply right now. I think Zero's army is fairly small. If I had to guess how big it is, the answer is going to be not great. Not great. He's got a handful of Zerglings here. He's making an Ultralisk. But it's 192 to 102 supply, and Flash is just making 8 Marines at a time and 4 tanks at a time. And it's just, you can't keep up economically at all. Those Zerglings run to their deaths. Hatchery dead. Zergling's trying to do a run by, but not. Even recognizing at that point it's over, and it's over. Flash wins your series 3 games to 1. Dropping game 2, but winning the rest of the games fairly handily there. And yeah, one true macro game. It's where Flash shows why he is widely regarded as the very best Brood War player of all time. It was just 3-3 Marines. It was science vessels. A bunch of them did die to Zero's Scourge. I've seen Flash do a better job dodging. But this, right? Just little groups of armies everywhere. Science vessels killing drones with their little trick. He didn't actually do a lot of damage as far as killing hatcheries go. to Zero's army, but it was enough. He was just winning major engagements there, and in the end, it was too much green on the bottom, too much existing army for Zero to deal with, and the Zerg player tapped out. So great job there by Flash. Let's see how we did here. Yeah, I mean, produced 477 units to 656, so more than half of the Zerg units that Zero produced is pretty fantastic. Ended up killing 532 resources, structures destroyed. Only 8. Only 8 by Flash, which seems a little bit low. And then resources, actually more gas mined here by Zero, pretty close to minerals mined too, and more minerals, or more overall resources spent by Zero than Flash in that game, but Flash just made better use of them, as we saw in the units tab. Okay, well, that's going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another StarCraft Brood War Remastered Best of Series. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and twitch.tv/Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself. bye.